Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us for our Euros and Copa America GI Huddle. Today, we have with us Jesper Svensson, CEO of Betsson Group, and Stuart Baker, Group Director of Sportsbook Products at BetConstruct. To start off with, we'll just do a couple of intros. Jesper, if we can go to you first.
Okay, hi. Yes, as you said, I'm Jesper, the CEO of Betsson Group. I'm right now sitting in Malta in very sunny weather, just looking forward to the two big events coming up here, the Euros and Copa America. Two fantastic opportunities for us as an operator, and we have some really exciting plans around that.
And Stuart, the floor is yours.
Okay, yes, hi guys, and hi everyone. I'm Stuart Baker, the Sportsbook Product Director at BetConstruct. I'm here in the UK, and actually the sun is shining as well here, which it hasn't been doing the last few days. It's been absolutely pouring it down. And yeah, likewise at BetConstruct, we're really keen. I mean, everyone's had the same year as last year and the beginning of this year, and having two tournaments at the same time is great, has its challenges, and we're just really looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Like all the bettors out there, I'm looking forward to it as well. And Stuart, I can confirm, yeah, where I am, I'm based in Watford. There's been rain pretty much all day, every day for the past week. But yeah, a bit of sunshine today. Maybe they knew we were on, so it's all good. In terms of the Euros, I'd like to ask you both about your expectations for it. So Jesper, I'd like to come to you first because we spoke at ICE 2020 in person, which seems a long time ago now. The fact that we could actually do that. And you said the Euros, you expected it to be basically the biggest sports betting tournament in history. Obviously, it didn't happen that summer, but we kind of had a year of pent-up demand. So I guess your expectations are more of the same, kind of even more this year.
Yeah, no, I think it will receive fantastic interest. This is, for most countries in Europe, we are coming out from a very tough time, and summer is here. Vaccinations has been rolled out in a relatively good manner across Europe, and it all falls together at the same time as the Euro. So I think it can be a really big celebration around this event, and also I think the beauty this year is also that it really coincides with Copa America. So you will see Euro in the afternoon, evening, and in the night you have Copa America in that sense. So it makes football 24/7 go around now for the period of time. So very good timing and high hopes for the interest in this.
Absolutely, yeah. Football fans certainly won't be complaining about 24/7 football, especially given last year. We had a long time without football at all, which I still don't really know how any of us got through, but we just about managed. Stuart, at your end, what are BetConstruct's expectations for the Euros and sort of Copa America as well?
I mean, likewise. I mean, Copa America is a bit of a tricky one. Not entirely certain where that's going to be. Obviously, we've got lots of operators out in South America and that region, and we're taking it just as seriously as we are the Euros. But I mean, specifically about the Euros, likewise, we think this is going to be the biggest for a number of reasons. I mean, each one is bigger than the previous one anyway. But as I said, the year that we've had, and another interesting thing that I was just thinking about is that because we haven't been able to go to the matches and see the matches, everyone's been watching it on television. So be it a Watford supporter or a Port Vale supporter or a Man United supporter, you're almost forced to watch other teams. So you're becoming more and more familiar with a lot of other players from a lot of other teams. And with the way that the world is, and you've got South American players and European players playing in Europe and playing in the UK, etc. I think that when we start getting these games and then people start seeing players playing, then we're much more familiar with them, and that's going to increase things like the player bets and people's opinion on the teams, etc. So yeah, really exciting.
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's definitely an interesting point, and I think the bottom line of kind of what we mentioned so far is that the traffic is going to be huge this summer. And Stuart, if I could stay with you, I guess a technical question: how can suppliers help operators when it comes to maximizing revenue and helping them just keep up with all the demand and all the traffic that we are expecting?
I mean, from a technical point of view, obviously, make sure that your site's always up and everything like that. I mean, Bet Construct, I mean, we've got a very powerful Spring platform. It's built for multiple operators on it. It's very horizontally scalable in the cloud, etc., like that. So we'll have no problems with the volumes and the trade that we're expecting through that. However, I mean, as Jesper said, we have got the afternoon games, then we've got the evening games, etc., like that. So things like accurate settlement, speed of settlement, just make it seamless so that there's a player has a bet, has a winning bet, send them a text that your bet's been winning, etc., like pay it out, all those sorts of things. Just keep it seamless, keep it simple. Don't try and be too clever and everything like that, and then it will work for you. So yeah. That's basically it. But as far as working with the operators as well, I mean, we've got a big trading team who work very much with marketing departments for our partners. So they may want to do some specials on maybe they're a French partner, specials on the French teams, etc., like that. So make sure that our services are working seamlessly across those and everything, and really treat it like a partnership. I mean, we call our operators partners anyway, like that. But we're all in this together. It's a mad month. Let's just stick together and it will be great.
Absolutely, yeah, all makes sense. From the operator side, Jesper, I'd like to throw in the issue of kind of retention, because obviously there'll be a lot of new customers. There might be players who are, just casual betting on Euro 2020, which, I mean, it's Euro 2021, but it's still called Euro 2020. In terms of keeping these customers on site beyond the tournament, what can operators do in that sense?
I think at least what we are doing right now, though, is that we have really ramped up all our marketing efforts. And we want to enter the tournament top of mind of our customers in the markets where we operate. So a lot of work goes into being there when it actually starts. Traditionally, you get a lot of new customer in the beginning of the Euro in that sense too. So it's a very important phase right now. And we have done a range of, initiatives around that. The latest one we have done is that we actually signed up with CONMEBOL, which is, the UEFA of Latin America, so to speak. And we're exclusive partner with them, and we will get fantastic exposure on all the matches in Copa America as one example. Then when the games come, I think, depending again on what jurisdiction you're operating in, but you should be generous. You should be helping the new customers. There's a lot of novice better, you can call it, in an event like this. And we're gonna keep a high pressure external marketing on for the whole range of the tournaments. So those events, they don't come around often. So it's a lot about attracting new customers and then keep them going, of course. I think when the tournament ends, it's usually a bit of a dry period. A good thing though is that it's not that far off until all the big leagues start again. So then the focus at that point goes a lot towards the reactivation of the ones who were playing with you during the Euros and Copa America.
The next topic I wanted to ask about, and I think it can be a question for both of you, in terms of where the traffic is coming from. Obviously, speaking about the Euros itself, obviously it's a European tournament, but there'll be attention all over the world. Starting with Jesper, what are the kind of the biggest markets you're expecting traffic from during the tournament?
So we expect a lot from the Nordics, where we started back in the days. That's big for us. The CECA region, Baltics, Georgia, and we also have a substantial partner, a B2B offering for a partner in Turkey. That's also a big market for us. And then Latin America. We are doing a lot of initiatives in Latin at the moment. We have been going for licenses in Argentina, we have Brazil, mainly focused on horse racing, but Peru, Chile, those markets are becoming increasingly important for us. So we expect a lot from the LATAM region as well.
It's interesting to hear LATAM in the context of the Euros, because obviously they'll be big for Copa America betting, but the Euros is obviously a massive tournament. So yeah, it's interesting to hear it'll have that appeal there as well. Stuart, a similar question for you, really. In terms of what a bet constructor is expecting, what are the kind of markets that stand out to you in terms of potential revenue and handle and things like this?
Well, I mean, we've got over 300 sportsbook operators on our platform, and they are from all around the world. And yes, there is some localizations to some of our Nordic ones, that the percentage of business on the Nordic football is higher than that, and the UK ones, etc. But the bottom line is, it doesn't matter where you are in the world. It is the top 4 or 5 European leagues, Bundesliga, La Liga, Serie A, Premier League, France, even with PSG, that takes the majority of the business from that. So we're expecting massive interest from everywhere. Obviously, with our Latin American partners like that, we will expect to see a lot more compared to the rest of the world on the Copa America, but we still expect to see a fair amount of business on the European ones, even though the games will be a sort of early morning for them. Nowhere specifically. We've got partners everywhere, and we expect just increased volumes and great interaction from everywhere.
Yeah, I think that's a nice segue into the Copa America now, because obviously we've spoken about the Euros, but you've both already mentioned the Copa America, which is still a big tournament worldwide. And Stuart, if we could stay with you, I know you spoke about this, touched on it a little bit earlier, but has Bet Construct got any sort of specific plans for the Copa America?
Well, we're treating both equally. So we've got a number of existing products and a number of initiatives that we have got for both the Euros and Copa America. So there's nothing we're doing specifically for the Copa America that we're not doing for the Euros. Should we put it that way? But I mean, we've got a sports, but we've also got a fancy product as well. So there'll be a fancy Euro 2021 or 2020, whatever once we call it, and a fancy Copa America, which our partners can get, and that's seamlessly integrated into the platform as well. There's a micro site as well. I mean, last thing you want is someone going to your site and then going somewhere else to check what the standings are, what the draw is, etc., like that. Have a microsite on your site where all the information, the team squads, the standings, the fixtures, with the available odds to bet from there and then. I mean, that's a key deliverable to our partners. So likewise across both of them. And then we've got another couple of initiatives. We've got a product called Homework, which, like the name, it's sort of like a daily task where a player will come along like that, and there can be like a Copa America homework or a Euro 2000 homework, and each day there'll be set a number of questions like, what do you think the winner of this match will be? How many goals do you think there'll be in this? Those type of free to play, nice easy things like that. And then they come back the next day to do their homework for that day, the next day do their homework for that day. So there's like driving traffic back to the site, etc. So we've got a number of initiatives like these to help our partners keep the traction and going like that. But when it comes to Copa America, I wouldn't say do something special for it. I'd say make sure that you don't do anything less than you're doing for the Euros, because it's just as important for our partners in South America.
Sure, absolutely. Again, makes sense. In terms of where the traffic is coming from, if I can go back to that one specifically for the Copa. Yes, but obviously you mentioned Latin America for the Euros. Is it also a case of, there's going to be big European betting on the Copa America?
Yes, it will be not as big as the other way around, I would say, though, and that also is natural given the time of the day for those things. Like Stuart said, the Euros is still at a stage where people are up in Copa America, while it's a little bit the other way around to some degree. So that's why you would see some difference there. But nevertheless, for at least for the early matches, we have high expectations. The ones that start 2-3 a.m. Is you know, by default there would be less people up by that time.
No, of course that makes sense. And to follow up on that as well, in terms of kind of the people who bet on the different tournaments, the betting profiles and betting patterns, how do they compare with the Copa America and the Euros? This is a question for you first, Jesper. Is there a massive difference, or again, really, are we kind of seeing consistent, just perhaps different time zones?
I think what happens always at the big events is that you get you get a lot of new customers, and you get so much more let's call it recreational customers and first time bettors and so forth, and they play very traditional markets when they try out the products and so forth. I think there is naturally a difference between Europe and Latin America, although betting tend to over time gets closer, the patterns we can see. We see more multiples betting in the Americas than what we do in Europe to some degree. But nevertheless, on an event like this, it's not really, you know, the pro bettors event. It's everyone's event, right? And a lot of market gain interest as well, and that's why operators like us we work really hard to build out a very strong offering around all the matches, and a lot of that is also for PR purposes and so forth, that we can get out good marketing messages with it.
Sure, Stuart. On a similar line, this question. What are the best ways for sportsbook suppliers to maybe differentiate between the Copa America and the Euros? And actually, given what you've said so far, maybe it's a case of like you said earlier, maybe not differentiating, just making sure the offering is as good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you should be doing anything specifically special for them like that. There will be people in Latin America who are really just focusing on the Copa America more in the time zone and things like that. So don't muddy the waters. Don't try and mix the two up. They are separate things. I mean, by all means, do some sort of like multiples across the two to try and tie in and everything like that. But it is very much a case of don't belittle the Copa America just because the Euros is on. It's just as important. As Jesper said, we do get more multiples. We do see more multiples from South America, etc. like that. So just make sure you can facilitate those type of things. So yeah, I mean, they're very similar. Don't try and sort of like weigh one against the other, etc. like that. Just make sure that you give each of them equal concentration.
Now we've talked about kind of the upside, and obviously there's a huge upside to these tournaments. We'd obviously rather have a summer with them than without them, obviously in the industry, but even just as football fans. But they certainly they come with their challenges, and I wanted to kind of ask you both what kind of challenges they present and how best to kind of overcome them. If we can start with Jesper, yeah, what are the biggest challenges in offering the Euros and the Copa Americas, and also the fact that they're both on, and how can operators kind of best cope with the increased demand?
Well, I mean, for us, this is the time when everyone works 100%. So to say, I mean, there's no vacation time around this. This is when our business is at its peak. So we are doing shift works to cover day and night across our offices. So we always are prepared, both from a technical point of view and from a commercial point of view and so forth. So that preparedness is a big focus for us too. But this is what we live for. This is what is fun. And we have also in Betsson, we have more than 60 different nationalities, and from all over the world, and everyone is obviously sharing from their teams in this, which makes it a very exciting environment to be in.
No, yeah, I couldn't agree more on the fun and excitement aspect of it. Stuart, same question, but from the supplier, from the sportsbook supply side. You know, what are the biggest challenges you guys face, and how can you help operators kind of overcome their biggest challenges too?
I mean, likewise, yes. But I mean, it's no vacation time. It's just like everyone heads down like that. This is the biggest thing we've had in a long time. We've been in lockdown, etc., etc. This is going to be great, but we can't be complacent. I mean, it's hard enough trying to get a new operator. It's quite easy to lose one if you start to sort of like make mistakes and everything like that. So it's all the case. Just keep everything simple. Keep the sites all running. Keep the bets coming in. Getting everything settled and everything like that. Just trying to make it as seamlessly as possible as an experience on one side like that, and then everything should go with you. And then on the other side, it is really about supporting our partners. I mean, like yes, but we have offices worldwide, stretching from sort of like LA out to Hong Kong, Manila, Taiwan. So everyone there, the customer services departments across the globe and everything like that, be there, be supporting it and everything like that. And everyone from the senior management down, just don't be afraid to just jump in. If you see a query, you see a question and some sort of customer service thing like that, and you know you can get the answer. We're all football fans. We're all in this together like that. Let's just make this work, and it's really as simple as that.
Absolutely. We've covered a lot of topics, and you guys have provided us very insightful analysis so far. I think now I'll leave the stage open to you both to have maybe some sort of concluding words, any final messages you'd like to get out there. Stuart, if you've got anything specific to say, we can start with you, and also if you want to maybe have some predictions on who will win the Euros or the Copa America.
Okay, so I mean, it's gonna be great. It's what we all need. We need a tonic and everything like that to lift us out of the doom and gloom that we've all been in. And I know that it'll be whatever 20% up to even some 100% in some maybe Budapest or Bucharest for the Euros, the crowd capacity or something like that. But at least we're going to start watching games with some crowd noise there, and yeah, so maybe some of the games out in Baku might not have the actual support from the teams, but at least it won't be this tin noise. And yeah, let's just enjoy it for what it is. My marketing department actually would be very remiss if I didn't mention that we've got a thing called Football Renaissance going on at the moment. So any new partners that wish to sign up for us like that, so we're giving 50% off our setup fee. Any partners who want to move from another platform to ours, no setup fee, etc. like that. So we're really going for it, and we're really excited about it, and just bring it on, really.
Yeah, for sure. Jesper, any closing thoughts from yourself?
Yeah, no, this is for us in this industry. This is what we live for, right? It's the most exciting time of it all. So it's just about embracing it, enjoying it, and it will be amazing. I think on the prediction side of things, it looks, France are a strong team in a tournament like this, and I think it will be between Argentina and Brazil over there in the Copa. But hopefully we see quite a few upsets along the way, and from a betting industry point of view, let's hope there are 2 0-0 finals and extra time. That would be the best.
Just go back to my prediction is Belgium. Yeah. I think that France, the group with France and Germany in, whoever comes second there could be ending up. I think they play the winner of the England group or something like that, and or the other way around. So I'd love to see England do well, but I think it's going to be another one of those tournaments. But Belgium for me.
No, very interesting. I'm gonna go different. I'm gonna say Portugal for the Euros, and Copa America. I can't claim to be an expert, but I'm gonna say because Luis Suarez has won a title this year, I'm gonna say Uruguay, and I'm hoping they haven't somehow not qualified and made me look really silly there.
There, don't worry.
No, they're
fantastic.
They are there.
Okay, well, Jesper and Stuart, thank you very much for your insight, and thank you for joining us today.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.